Hello and welcome back to today's video. So today's video I'm going to be going through some of my vintage clothes, explaining the decade, explaining much more about styles of each decade really as we go through. So the first one I'm going to start with is what I'm currently wearing. So this top is very 60s, 70s. It's very sweaty, to be perfectly honest. It's not a really good fabric, but it looks groovy. So for other 70s things I have, I've got this Maxi Skirt. This is a personal favourite of mine. I absolutely love this skirt. I actually got it in red brick vintage in Liverpool for only £9, so that was an absolute bargain. I definitely recommend, if you're in Liverpool, to head to red brick vintage. So yeah, this is 70s. You can tell by the stereotypical brown colour, the flowers and the length. It's pretty bohemian. So yeah, that's a definite 70s garment. Another find from Red Brick Vintage is this beautiful dress. Again, Maxi, very 70s. We have a zip up the back that does look like the original zip actually. You can kind of tell where the metal's been worn away. It's got this beautiful lace up detail at the front, kind of like a corset, and it ties around the back. Again, very long, floor length, and very 70s. So the next item is a shirt that is of the 50s era. It's this cute little checked shirt. It's got a very cute collar split at the back. This is what we'd call a Peter Pan collar because it's rounded. It's small and rounded at the front. Okay, the sleeves are 3/4 length as well. It's quite summery. It's very airy. Okay, so that's a 50s garment. My last garment is the very first piece of vintage clothing that I bought. So this is a 70s skirt. It looks absolutely beautiful when you spin around. This is only like mid-length, so it comes to about mid-calf. It's beautiful gold piping. The colours are just absolutely spectacular. I don't think the zip is original, as it is plastic as opposed to metal. Yeah, the zip looks like a newer edition, but other than that, I mean, personally, like, even though like I got it for a £5, it was on the sale rail because she was like, we can't sell things with moth holes in for their original price. But personally, like, I don't mind the moth holes in it because, well, for a start you can't really see them. Like, there's one there which doesn't even show up on the camera. Yeah, it's a beautiful skirt. So the things I look for when I go shopping for vintage is, obviously you've got to look at the condition, check all the fastenings especially. So when I bought this dress, it wasn't brilliant when I first bought it actually. Like, this strap was coming off. You could probably see I've had to kind of sew it back on there, which was a bit kind of like, but to be fair, it was only £11, so I didn't mind too much. you've got to always check the garment first, like check it over completely. So say, I wouldn't have got this if the zip had been broken, if like one of these had been, you've got to check to make sure that if there is a repair that needs doing, that you can do it easily yourself, or you know someone who can do it. Because a lot of the time, so here we are again, like the strap at the back is starting to come away. That's fine, like I can fix that myself, but yeah, always check the condition of the garment. Second thing to check when you're buying vintage is check the decade. So all too often you get a rack that will say 60s or 70s, whatever, but when you really research into it you find that it's not. So I would do your research there. There is a difference between retro and vintage as well. So the term we use, antique obviously is anything 100 years plus. Vintage we tend to use from the 90s earlier. Retro tends to be something that's in the style of. So bear with me 1 second. It looks from a view like here, it looks 70s. It's not original. It is cotton. It's not nylon or anything, or polyester. So this would be considered to be retro, as it's in the style of a 70s shirt. So yeah, always make sure you're getting, you know what you're getting. If you think something is retro, just ask the person who's selling it, because it may be that they just haven't realised or it hasn't come to their attention yet. So yeah, just always make sure you're aware that what you're buying is real. You can usually tell, like, this doesn't have any signs of wear. It feels like a new fabric. When I bought it, the cuffs were still quite stiff, so like that's how I could tell like it wasn't original. You're just going to be eagle-eyed about it, because it's very easy to fall into a trap of, oh yeah, this looks vintage, therefore it is. Whereas like when I bought this, it's a bit difficult to see, but like the collar is a little bit yellowing, there is a slight stain down the front. But it's what you get with vintage, you know. Sometimes you might be able to get these stains out, you might be able to repair the garment, but unless you know that you can, I wouldn't recommend it. So that's all for that video today. If you have any vintage queries or want to ask me anything about vintage clothes, vintage buying, feel free to drop me a message or reply to me in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.